And the CEO of the Blue Crow Sports Group and the president of a couple soccer teams, Jeff Luhnow, just tweeted a long winding road, but yes, go Forrest, go. So Jeff Luhnow's excited that Forrest Whitley's coming up. Can he just come back?
I was trying to get Dell excited for Forrest Whitley, not even coming back, just or coming up to the majors. But I said, well, Jeff Luhnow has a pretty good track record of drafting the guys, so this is maybe the last Jeff Luhnow draft pick to make his major league debut for the Astros.
Pour one out.
I bet you it's gotta be.
It's almost impossible for it not to.
I'm like, who else would there be? Like when he got fired, his last draft was in 2019.
Yeah.
You said something a moment ago that makes me wonder.
Bring back Jeff
Luhnow. Is it possible? Is it even possible? This year, things have not gone so well. Is it Dana Brown's fault? Not necessarily. They got Jose Altuve locked up for life. You like that. The Josh Hader move feels like more of a Jim Crane move. Would Jeff Luhnow have said no to that? You wonder, would he have gone after some of the guys that they just let walk? Would they still be essentially raiding the Caribbean by offering the whatever $10,000 contract that Ronel Blanco got because the Astros scout happened to be at a Julio Rodriguez workout? Is it so impossible for Jeff Luhnow to come back? Is there something in the way of that? What is it?
I don't know. But he's the only person connected to the sign-stealing scandal that is not involved in baseball.
Is he blackballed?
He has to be. Now, part of this is because we've all been there, right? We've all met people in our life who are just like, everyone hates this person, and you don't, if they ruin their opportunity at something, you're not going to help them again. I think that's what this is with Jeff Luhnow, is that he was so disliked amongst general managers, scouts, within the organization, outside of the organization, other teams. Honestly, sometimes we're just bending them over the barrel in trades that, like, embarrassing them. Like, think back to the Bryce Harper trade that almost happened. Not a single player, once Chandler Rome reported on who was supposedly going to the Nationals, was a good prospect. Who did the Astros trade for, like, Garrett Cole and Greinke that really hurt you? Nobody. So I think people just didn't like Jeff Luhnow. Clearly no one from the Cardinals liked Jeff Luhnow. So between that and sign-stealing scandal, yes, I think he's just blackballed.
You had the Evan Drellick book, Winning Fixes Everything, How Baseball's Brightest Minds Created Sports' Biggest Mess. There's a lot of baseball media types that looked even more angrily at what the Houston Astros had done when they found out that, they're not just cheating, they treat the people that work here not so well, and continued with what happened or didn't happen with James Click. They offered him a 1-year extension after they win the World Series, and a lot of people were like, that's reprehensible that they would do that. You also, I think, have with the PBS documentary that came out, the same guy who wrote about the Astros in that Sports Illustrated article, what was it on? Was it on Apple TV? Said a lot of things that we knew already, but again, it didn't paint him in the most favorable light. He's the one guy that hasn't come back in, though. And, I mean, Carlos Beltran is associated with the Yankees organization, even if he isn't a player or a manager. He's part of the broadcast team. Alex Cora's back, and it seems like Alex Cora might not exactly be the easiest person to work with based off of some of the stories that we saw in that Evan Drellick book. And I'm sure there's some stories in Boston that are going on right now where people would say the exact same thing. It is very strange that Luhnow, a guy who clearly was doing a lot right, a guy who's bilingual, he's from Mexico City originally, especially for all those teams that maybe want to copy, not the Astros necessarily stealing signs, but going into the Caribbean and finding all of these players. It is very strange.
So strange.
That not one team has tried to give some sort of Godfather offer to him.
Dude, even the fact that the Astros fired Jeff Luhnow and AJ Hinch, and then they operated their front office with James Click, with a bunch of people that worked for Jeff Luhnow, like, part of it is definitely that people don't believe Jeff. Like, I really like Vanessa. I did not enjoy the interview that she did with Jeff, to be honest. I thought it was too puff piecey, and I just didn't think that he was honest with her. I don't believe that someone that is like this methodical about everything he did within the Houston Astros organization could have just zero idea that this team was cheating in the way they were. And I think most people are like me. They don't believe Jeff, that he is honestly
he's smart enough where you're like, really, man?
Yeah, it's also like the operation wasn't exactly like the most efficient or the most like well thought out. It was literally stick a camera in center field, point it at the catcher,
bang a trash can,
have a video feed in the dugout tunnel, and have a trash can.
The devil's advocate argument, I guess, for Luhnow perhaps being blissfully unaware of something would be that the Cardinals had access to all of his scouting logs because he didn't change his password. So perhaps sometimes things, even for the smartest people out there, slip through the cracks.
But he never like walked down the dugout and was like, "Oh, where are all these cameras for? Where are all this video screen and this notebook decoding signs?" Huh.
Yeah, it's just it's hard, and like I get it, like Junior Bronco, like I get it. I don't know if you want to be a troll or whatever. You think because I'm a Cubs fan that I believe that Jeff Luhnow was blissfully unaware. If you want to live in a world in which you think that every single member of the Astros organization was aware of what's going on,
what if they're a Cardinal, Joe?
And that AJ Hinch was ripping off televisions and removing trash cans to try to stop this, and that Jeff Luhnow was unaware, I'm sorry, you're just an absolute idiot. Like, I can't help you. Like, you can be a troll all you want, but, like, you can just be a moron and just, like, that's fine. But I would love for Jeff Luhnow to actually be honest, but there's a reason why no one's hired him. And I would love the idea of the Astros.
Cardinal.
Like, I would love the idea of Jeff Luhnow coming back.
Oh, they need a new TV? Why? Oh, AJ Hinch destroyed it? Why? I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know when the MLB sent memos to Jeff Luhnow and the Astros saying, hey, look at these photos of George Springer. We don't like whatever is happening during this at-bat and during these Josh Reddick and Marwin Gonzalez at-bats, and then he didn't pass along the info to stop sign stealing to his team and to his players. It kind of means he's guilty. Like, I would love Jeff Luhnow to come back, though. He should be back. It's stupid that he's not.
I can't believe that not one of the 30 teams in baseball has tried to bring him back. And maybe he's done with it. Maybe he likes the challenge of being overseas in another country and working with soccer teams there. He is probably someone that believes that he can make whatever his statistical analysis system work legitimately in anything. And it must be like the most epic of flexes to have. It's like, yeah, I actually can make this happen anywhere. So on to the next.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you take that line of thinking, like, yeah, I kind of figured out baseball. Like,
it is baseball.
I figured out Major League Baseball. Let me try to figure out soccer now. Like, it is like
more popular sport.
What he built is still like it's the bones of it is still what happened last year is the making the ALCS.
And that's why there has to be
with 5 years of like he hasn't been the GM for 5 years.
Yeah, that's why he has to be blackballed because there's no way an organization like an entire sport looks at the Astros' success and says we don't care. When the Red Sox didn't care about Cora, the Tigers don't care about Hinch, the Yankees didn't care about, and the Mets didn't care about bringing in Beltran at first, and then they brought him back. Like the Yankees are using our like Astros guys in the TV booth. There's just no logical way in which everyone got a chance except for Luhnow without saying he got blackballed.
It's nuts. It's just one guy. It's crazy, and obviously the players they got off very easy, very, very, very easy. You know. Oh no, people might boo us the first year. Like, there's a pandemic. Very convenient time for a pandemic. No, Jeff didn't start the pandemic.
Convenient timing.
Jeff did not start the pandemic as a distraction.
Rob Manfred did, is what you're saying. To distract.
So the Mike Fiers thing came out in like November of 2019.
Yeah.
The first cases in Wuhan.
Wild spitballing going on right now.
I mean, he was a rat.
You know what? Let me ask Aaron Rodgers what he thinks about that.
Oh, dude. Is there a reason why you're saying that, Sean?
Yeah, because, you know, he's a fellow conspiracy theorist.
Because he's going on podcasts and telling people that the government made HIV in the 80s right now?
Is that what he's saying today?
That's what Aaron Rodgers is saying.
Hell yeah.
Today.
Was he on McAfee or is that on just the internet?
Whatever podcast he's it was not on McAfee.
I want that to be on McAfee.
I would love to know the line of questioning that took from Pat McAfee or one of his producers asking Aaron Rodgers a question that led to that.
Yeah, it is just Aaron Rodgers is whatever he's taken, good for him is what I'll say.
Could you have Aaron Rodgers in studio with us?
Yeah, I don't have like that much disdain for. I think he's a great quarterback.
A quarterback who murdered your team on a regular basis and says outlandish things.
Yeah, but I kind of liked Aaron versus like Favre.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. He was so good. It's one of those where it's like it is. Maybe he beat me down, man. He beat me.
I think that's what it was.
He beat me into respect.
Favre was when he still had hope.
Yeah, Rodgers just beat me into respecting him.
You thought you could beat Favre, and then you didn't think you could beat Rodgers.
Fact.
How uncomfortable would you be with the rabbit holes that Rodgers and I might go down as you try to just stick to sports?
I would just listen. I would just listen.
I feel like I would be very intrigued to see how deep down a rabbit hole I could go with that guy, just having a conversation. Not knowing how much of it I would believe, but more so just wondering how far could his AD take my ADD?
Yeah, it's just like what
the curiosity. Where is it taking us?
It was 1 + 1 = like 100 with him, because you would just keep going and going and going. There would be no breaks that day.
I hope he would just bring mushrooms or something.
I don't know if he does mushrooms. I think it's just ayahuasca.
Well, ayahuasca is going to make you puke and poo all over the place.
Then I'm out on that.
Yeah. You can't do we couldn't do
you have
ayahuasca
to go to,
here at a radio
You
station.
actually have to do a retreat for that. This isn't just like, you can just, puff a little reefer. No.
I mean, they pepper spray John.
No, there's a whole...
That's true. That's true. We played that.
Why couldn't we do this?
Because there's a whole ritual or something with it.
Why can't we have Paul do ayahuasca during a show?
Don't you need a shaman? All Fred and AJ needed was a finger and some pepper spray.
Like, we can't get a shaman to come?
I don't know. I don't know if we can get a shaman. I'll ask around.
All right, sounds good.